A college put on a transgender conference, and a Republican state representative decided to sneak in and do some investigating, documented his findings, and compiled them into a Twitter thread. So somebody sent me this thread, and I just wanna look at it with you today because it's funny. We're just doing this for fun. So here it is. Brian Harrison, a Texas state representative, says, "Alert! The Texas government hosted a transgender conference at UT Austin today, so naturally I snuck in." And just so we're clear, these are not typically the type of events that you have to sneak into. They're not checking you at the door for trans status, as far as I'm aware. You know, this isn't like how the Republicans want to treat public bathrooms. It's mostly just a space that's there and open for people. But I don't know, maybe it was a closed conference. Maybe he really did have to sneak in. He doesn't say the name of the conference, so can't really check. But what I found will shock you. The Texas government is promoting a radical liberal agenda with your tax dollars. He also doesn't say what part of the government is doing that. I mean, I'm really curious because from what I know of the Texas government, just from following anti-trans laws, this sounds like the opposite of what they've been up to recently. But again, without knowing the name of the conference or what part of the government is apparently funding it, we just got to take his word for it. Read thread emoji below. Yes, the thread emoji really gets me here. Like, that's what you see from those posts. 5 ways that I turned my passion into passive income this summer. Read thread below. Be for real, man. Prepare to be furious. All right, I am prepared to be shocked and furious. So let's see what kind of shocking things that will make me furious about this transgender conference. First thing I see on campus is a banner promoting Transcendence, a century of Black queer ecstasy. Wow. Okay, and? No comment on that? Just the 2 types of people you hate most combined? Wow. I found the agenda for day 1, including at 11 a.m., keeping time, queer cryptemporal attunement through tarot. That is a mouthful. I don't know what that means. Is that bad? Is it shocking? Should I be furious? He doesn't say. Let's see. Like queer, cripple is a slur. I wish you would have told me that before I just said it out loud, bro. That has been reclaimed by many physically disabled people, especially those who also identify as queer. Okay. Yeah, I guess I know a little bit more about that now, but I still don't really know. But I'm not shocked. I mean, nor am I furious, I'll be honest. Sounds cool, though. I like tarot cards. But yeah, I guess I can see why that's pretty triggering for a guy like Brian. It's a lot of DEI in one place. Some tarot, that's definitely satanic. So really bad stuff all around. Walking in with the catering staff, guarantee he did not have to do that. He's really acting like he's sneaking around here, like busting this case wide open. He's doing journalism. Yeah, I'm sure you fit right in. I'm sure they weren't all wearing a uniform that you didn't have on matching them. You had them all fooled. It wasn't just that you could walk in unrestricted. It was your masterful sneaking in skills. Great job. I arrived in time to hear some of the presentation on I Bore a Hell Within Me, a Narrative Femicide and Reproduction in Frankenstein. Here's what bothers me. This feels lazy. He insists that we're going to be shocked and outraged and furious, but doesn't tell us why we should be. Because all I'm seeing here is this is apparently your first interaction with any sort of analysis of Frankenstein, because that take is not new. It is not radical by any means. Like, you really have to go out of your way to study Frankenstein at all. Or, hear literally any analytical take of Frankenstein and not be met with something like this. Because that's what it is. They're making the monsters gay now. They're making the monsters feminist. They're putting DEI in the monsters. Mary Shelley's woke. They're making Mary Shelley woke. After listening to as much of that as I could handle, I began walking around campus. Why couldn't you handle it? What bothers you about that, Brian? Tell me. What's so bad? But anyways, he's walking around campus. Resources for trans folks, including medical transitioning. No. And literally you can see that someone graffitied it and then they had to white out and write trans rights over it. So you're not the only one here that fucking hates trans people, man. You are not the minority, I promise you that. Yeah, pamphlet with trans resources at a trans conference. I am shocked. And frankly, I'm furious. Instructions on how to use pronouns. Maybe you should read them. This isn't even a radical trans thing. This is a resource for people who aren't trans. This is just normal stuff that you would see at a college or, I don't know, just inclusive places. Is God a submissive or a dominant? I mean, I'll just tell you, I probably won't like this, but for the opposite reasons. Brian here. Using the interrelationships between Jamal al-Jalal attributes in Islamic theology to reflect upon themes of pain and pleasure in kink/BDSM, Dr. Hag asked the question, is God a sub or a dom? All right, this is probably the closest thing to scandalous we've come so far, because I'm sure he's feeling like this is blasphemous or something. I don't know. I don't know enough about Islam to speak on this, but I did grow up Southern Baptist, and I can tell you that just the general vibe of, how do I put this? Queer people like having these takes on their religion that feel very much like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. I don't know if that's what this is. But it's something that Christians do a lot that I just don't understand it. Like, if you have to reach so far and pretend that it's something it's not, maybe it's not the right thing for you in the first place. Like, maybe instead of promoting an institution that exists solely to oppress you and pretending that it's actually cool, you just go find something that's actually cool. But at the same time, I can recognize I'm not the target audience for this. I don't have a problem with it existing, but I definitely wouldn't be attending. Trans convening, all caps. Trans convening against disposability, trans care and lessons from disability justice. Yeah, man. I mean, is it really that hot of a take that an underrepresented group within an underrepresented group would need representation? Like, disability advocacy is good for everyone, and there needs to be accommodations in healthcare, especially when it's like more niche, like trans healthcare. Wait, hold on. Am I woke? What the fuck? I just really don't understand why this bothers him. I wouldn't even think to take a picture of this. Like, if I'm looking for stuff to get mad about or to make people on the internet mad about, like, does this existing really bother someone simply because they are not trans and not disabled yet? Not yet disabled. I just actually don't see a problem here. But the existence of some sort of trans resource, I guess that's the problem. But pal, you went to a trans conference and got triggered at everything that said trans. Incredible. Prominently displayed in a glass bookcase. Just read the title. Terrorizing Gender, Transgender Visibility, and the Surveillance Practices of the U.S. Security State. Sounds cool. I don't know. Is Brian interpreting this as himself being on the receiving end of the terrorizing? Because that's obviously not what this is. A library entrance. It's just pride flags. Go to a pride function and get mad at the pride flags. What a fucking dork walking around taking pictures on his phone of all this stuff. Like, oh my god, bro. You had nothing better to do for real, Brian Harrison? You got nothing else going on with the Texas government that you're a part of? That you claim is funding this? Like, what's up with this dude? What's his thing? He's a husband, a father of four, a former small biz owner, HHS, chief of staff, Trump and Bush admins, believer in freedom. And you spend your time sneaking onto a college campus to take pictures of pride flags and get mad about it on your Twitter page. Okay, all right, back to it. My hormones make me moody stickers. Take a button, take a sticker, take a class in women's gender and sexuality studies. Yep. You know, I don't like these stickers either. But not for the same reasons. Mostly because of the format. I think it should be a square. I don't understand having a circle with 2 lines of left-aligned text and a QR code square underneath. Design-wise, I think I would have really taken a different direction. Like, you could just make the sticker a square and put the words in the middle of the QR code like a lot of businesses do with their logos. That'd be nice. But I don't think that's the issue he's taking with these stickers. But it does bother me, I'll be honest. Also, bro is literally posting all of these QR codes for these classes in these small groups onto this hateful ass thread full of people who are pissed off about it. Come on, man. Nothing to do with transgenderism, but just what the hell. Ease your mind. About to begin an exam? Shake your worries with this mindfulness activity. 1. Feel the ground beneath you. 2. Wiggle your toes and fingers. 3. Shrug your shoulders and open your jaw to release tension. Yeah. What? Yes, it's a grounding activity. It's to alleviate anxiety. What are you... Why are you mad, dude? What the hell? What is this, therapy? It's a college. They're helping people de-stress. Okay. I wanted to see the replies to this one specifically. Okay, nice. Dude, can you read it? It's clearly stress management techniques for kids taking exams. You can't relate as a parent? Quit agitating and grandstanding. Go focus on taxes and spending. That's what people care about. That is a basic grounding and mindfulness exercise. Do your research. Nothing wrong with this. It's good advice. This is actually a grounding exercise to alleviate stress and anxiety. This actually helps in many situations. Oh my god. Okay. At least he's getting some good responses to that. That's refreshing. I'm glad the replies are on the same page as I am, because what... What's the problem for real? Disability justice approaches to trans health. Yes, this bothers you because you're not disabled yet. Bro, it's the same one you posted earlier that you were mad about that was on the TV. You're just recycling shit. Not enough pride flags for you to take pictures of. And again with the QR code, dude. What an ass. Ciscentrism, transmisogyny, colorism, and sizeism, biphobia, and transphobia gather around combating transmisogynoir and queer phobia. You quote it, but you don't have anything to say about it, man. That's what bothers me. Like, say it. Say it. Why are you so mad? Why are you so mad at these black women, dude? Do I not seem like I'm worth being treated like a woman? Megan Thee Stallion, Misogynoir Violence, and Savage Resistance. Black Feminism Speaker Series. Sounds awesome. Protect black women. Yeah. If you want to be mad at this, then say what you're mad about. Say what about this you have a problem with. I'd love to hear it. What exactly are we clutching our pearls over right now? Everywhere. Boom. Pride flags. More pride flags. Oh my God. Prepare to be shocked and furious, he said. And then he took a picture of some pride flags hanging up in a college resource center. Yeah. Pronouns everywhere. He, they, she, flying all around the room. I can't escape it. I can't escape it. Gender and Sexuality Center, FYI. So he's in some sort of, I figured, like a dedicated space for gender and sexuality. And they're hosting a conference, but he's just going around and taking pictures of all the resources that are there. All these flyers and stuff. Just this very basic stuff. Yep. Just a flyer about pronouns with all of their socials. Oh my gosh. Their phone number, their website, their email. Bro is straight up just going around and doxing all of these LGBT student resources and organizations. Like, that's actually what's happening here. Because this stuff is not intended for all these random fucking people on Twitter that follow this guy. It's for students. These are student resources for queer students. And he's framing everything specifically to piss people off and funneling them to this and saying, this is what your tax dollars are going for. The government is funding this. How so? Because it's a state university? Like, is that what you mean? Because a state university has gender and sexuality classes and shit like that? But you're crazy, so you gotta make it sound fucking crazy. I know. The Gender Studies Library is beyond words. Whipping Girl, a transsexual woman on sexism and the scapegoating of femininity. The Riddle of Gender, science, activism, and transgender rights. And while I did not read If I Was Your Girl, something tells me he's not. Good one. No thank you.
Could you please clarify what you mean by one good one? I need more information to understand your request and provide a helpful response.
It wasn't a good one. I was being sarcastic. Goodbye. Anyways, yeah, books about being trans. Oh my God. Say it ain't so. Anything but this. The Gender Studies Library has books about gender. I'm shocked and furious right now. Just so many. Bro's in here with his phone like this. You know, boomer as fuck like that. Going like this. Oh, that'll get him. Here, I'm going to put this on my Twitter. They're going to hate this when they see all these books. I'm surprised he didn't try to burn them. Anti-Trump coping, ... That's the first original sentence that he has written. It's not just a quote from what he is seeing in front of him. Today, we are still a community. Inauguration reflection event. Yeah. As someone who, I did a LGBT support live stream that was one of my most viewed live streams of all time. I can tell you a lot of people need this kind of thing. A lot of people are feeling not great. I'm sure especially in Texas, the state that has gone above and beyond out of its way to be as non-welcoming as possible to trans people. We invite you to find strength and support in community. It's not anti-Trump coping, it's Trump coping. Like, there's not a single word on here about Trump, but you know that's what it's about because you know what this means for the community. I did appreciate the honesty that with a 4-year, $100,000 plus gender and sexuality studies degree, you still end up with an entry-level job. Be willing to start in entry-level positions. Yeah, man, that's how a career works. If you're starting in a career that requires a college education, the college education comes first, and then you start at entry level. Is that shocking? Are you furious? They answered the age-old question of, what can I do with a gender studies degree? Among the possibilities, diversity officer, diversity trainer, professional blogger. Okay, that's kind of funny. Government reform activist. Oh my God. Bro highlighted this himself. He's going around taking pictures. He's highlighting this. He found a highlighter in one of the little pencil cups there and walked around highlighting shit that he didn't like. Dude, you need a hobby. Training the next generation of gender activists. Our graduates go on to advocacy positions. Yeah, let me just highlight that and take a picture for my Twitter thread. Yeah, because when you get an education and learn about the huge gaps in equality, you tend to go on to want to change that. Pride and Equity Faculty Staff Association. Oh no, there's gender diversity in the faculty and staff. And transgender. No way. Yeah, queer people work here. Can you imagine? That is shocking. Because, of course, a regular library just won't cut it. The Rainbow Lounge, a place for LGBTQ plus STEM students to connect and hang out. Join our Discord. And he's posted the fucking QR code for the Discord. Yeah, dude. I mean, colleges have clubs and groups of like-minded people of all different types. There's probably a cycling club. Are you mad about that? The regular library probably doesn't cut it because it's fucking Texas. And the general vibe is probably not always super welcoming towards everyone. So marginalized groups create spaces for themselves to get together comfortably. It's not like they're getting special VIP rainbow accommodations. It's just a way for similar people to connect. But yeah, no, good thing you doxed them. That's just too far. They don't need all that. They don't need those special privileges. You can get paid to take a survey only if you identify as Black. Black epistemologies. Black undergrad students in STEM needed. We need students who are 18 and older, attend college or university in Texas, are an undergraduate student in STEM, identify as Black, and it specifies one or more parents of African descent. So it's not saying white people who identify as Black. They literally clarify in there. And of course, all of their information is right here on Twitter. That's the end of the thread. Excellent investigation. Have you discovered who funded this? Yes, the Texas government funded it with your tax dollars. Texas is being infiltrated by Democrats in the government and woke Soros DAs in the judicial system. Get them out. You're losing your state, Texans. No, the fuck they're not. What are you talking about? Oh my God, bro. All right. Well, there you have it. Brian Harrison's thorough investigation of the transgender conference that he bravely snuck into as a Texas state rep, walking around on a college campus, triggering himself over anything that was gender or sexuality related. Love that for him. Love that for us. Love the content. Imagine me going to a Trump rally in a half-empty stadium and getting mad every time I saw someone in a MAGA hat, taking a picture of anything that said Trump. Can you believe this? Oh my God. Incredible. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a fun time. I hope you did too. If you did, make sure to subscribe to join the Goose Troop today. Give this video a thumbs up because one like equals one honk. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.